Hello, my name is Isaiah Rojas, and I am one of the directors that will be serving you this season. So in today's Intro to Coaches video, what we're going to just go over is just a couple of basic priorities and how to implement those priorities on the court and on the field as coaches. But first off, I just want to say thank you so much for being a coach this season. Thank you so much for volunteering. I'm sure you guys can look back and think of the coaches that you worked with and you that coached your teams and the impact that they had on you. I can remember every single one of my baseball coaches and basketball coaches and what they taught me, what they developed in me. I don't remember if we won every single game or if we didn't, but I remember the impact that they had and the confidence that they instilled. And we have that opportunity this season to instill confidence, to develop character, to develop athletes and young adults. And it's incredibly important. It's incredibly rewarding. And we are incredibly grateful that you are being a part of this season. So thank you again. So we talk about our four core priorities: fun, sportsmanship, safety, and inclusion. And we've kind of gone over this over and over, and you hear about it a lot. But as a coach, you are on the front lines of executing on these goals, and you are on the front lines of delivering these priorities. And it looks different for you guys as coaches, these priorities and how those are implemented on the field. So I want to go over those things real quick with you in today's intro video. So the first thing that we talk about is fun. And as a coach, I need you to understand that we're not talking about what's fun for us and what's fun for us as parents and coaches, which is usually winning and developing good teams, but what's fun for the kids, because that's what's going to make them want to continue to play, continue to come back and play another season, and continue to grow and develop in sports. So what's fun for kids is playing with their friends, having supportive and encouraging parents and coaches, and getting an opportunity to play on the field and on the court. So we're not when we talk about fun, we're talking about delivering fun for our kids. So as coaches, if you know this is what's fun for them, then that's what I need to make sure I prioritize, and that's what I need to make sure I'm doing every single week. So making sure the kids are nice to each other and supporting each other, and they're making friends while they're out there. They're making sure that as a coach, I'm supporting my kids and I'm being encouraging for them, and so are their parents. And if there's a parent or spectator on the sideline who's really negative and on top of their kids, and maybe that's somebody that we need to have a conversation with. So it doesn't have to be you, but it can be potentially one of our staff members that can do that. So understanding that that's what kids need. And the other thing is understanding that they value playing time a lot more than they value winning. And in a national study, when they asked what makes sports fun for you, these three things were the top three reasons. Number 51 was fun, and it was out of 55. So you can see where on a national level, the priority of winning, the answer of what makes sports fun, and they say winning, that isn't the first thing. And you might say, oh, well, my kid's different and my teams are different and my kid says winning is more fun. Yes, and that's probably because that's what you value. So if you value that, they value that. But if we value things that are going to develop them long term, then that's what they'll develop as well, and that's what they'll value as well. So for kids on a national level, on a bigger scale, especially kids in our recreational sports programs, again, we're not a highly competitive elite program. We are a recreational league, and we want to be that. And we want our kids to feel like this, and our parents to feel like this is a place where their kids can learn and develop and grow. So for our parents and for our kids, friends, supporting, encouraging parents and coaches, and playing time is what they value. So understand that and implement that on the field and on the courts. The next thing is sportsmanship. Sportsmanship is a really nice, fluffy word that everyone kind of throws out there, that everyone says is great, but no one really knows how to implement that and how to teach that and how to make that a part of the program. At I9 Sports, it is an incredibly integral part to our programs. So as coaches, what that means for you is we need you to, on a week-by-week basis, talk up sportsmanship. So we provide you a weekly sportsmanship award trait. So each week, you're going to have a different trait: discipline, dedication, positivity, enthusiasm. These are different traits, and each week you're going to talk to your kids about the importance of that trait. And at the end of the day, you're actually going to reward kids, not on who scored the most points, who was the MVP, but who displayed this sportsmanship trait. Because again, we want to implement this and encourage and reward sportsmanship as much as we want to encourage and reward and implement, the youth sports experience or their performance on the field. So it's incredibly important how we teach sportsmanship. But as a coach, it's just as important that you model this and you model sportsmanship. And it's very easy to do it when your team is winning and calls are going your way. It's not very easy to do this when your teams aren't winning games and calls aren't going your way, or it's a playoff game and they just missed a foul call and now we lost the game and sportsmanship goes out the window and I'm yelling and screaming at a 25-year-old guy who's doing this on the weekends, like acting like this is an NBA championship game. So as a coach, you have the ability to not only you have the ability to model sportsmanship and be a role model of this, and how you guys act and how you guys behave and how you communicate sets the tone for the rest of your team. I've seen it time and time again when I have coaches yelling and screaming at refs. It's sooner or later the kids start doing it and the parents start doing it. The opposing team starts doing it, and we lose control of a 5U basketball game super fast, and it just kind of spirals. So instead, as coaches, what we expect for you guys and how we expect you guys to implement this priority is to constantly think of that I'm the role model of sportsmanship. So how I act and how I talk is how my kids and parents are going to talk. So let's make sure that we're doing that in a positive way in every situation. The next thing that we talk about a lot is safety. And we're not just talking about the physical safety of the kids. Of course, we want them to be physically safe. We want to make sure we're teaching the correct rules. We're teaching the correct technique in different sports. We want to make sure they have the proper equipment. But we also want to make sure that we are emotionally being safe for our kids. We're providing emotional safety for them as well. So that means how we communicate to them, how we critique them, how we correct them, how we support them. That's something that we need to be considerate of as well. So it's a very simple thing of, if a kid makes a mistake, be specific in that critique and let them know what they did well and what they didn't do well. So, hey, great job hustling to that flag, but I need to make sure you wrap up with two hands and try to pull down on those two flags, not just try to grab with one. So instead of just yelling at a kid, you got to pull that flag, and then they're just down because they didn't pull the flag. Instead, they know that they did a good job by getting there on time and making a good angle. All they need to do next is just be able to wrap up with two hands. So it's a different way of coaching and developing, and we want to make sure you're considerate and thinking of that while you're out there as well. And then the last thing that we talk about a lot is inclusion. And what this means for you as a coach is not just providing equal playing time, but as much as possible providing equal opportunities. Because if you have a kid in your team that you're putting them on the field, half of the game, just as much as everybody else, but you're never giving them the ball, and you're just having them run, deep routes every single play. Yes, he's getting equal playing time, but he's not a part of the team and he's not included in the experience. So what encourages and what develops kids is getting opportunity to play and getting opportunity to feel like they are part of the team. That grows their confidence. That grows their skill set. That develops them as young adults. So that's what we want to do as coaches. And that's what inclusion means to you, is getting them on the field, but also making that a priority to get them included in the game. So in a football team, it might mean, making sure everyone gets at least one pass or one, chance to run the ball. It might mean making sure everyone gets a turn to be the rusher. It might mean on the basketball court, everyone gets 2 shots every single week. Everyone's gonna at least get 2 shots. On the soccer field, it might be taking turns at goalie or taking turns at forward. Different things that you can implement with how you coach and how you manage a team and practice in games to encourage inclusion. Because far and away, this is the biggest concern that we get from the parent perspective about coaches. When I get a complaint about a coach, 90% of the time it involves this topic of my kid's not getting enough playing time, my kid's not involved, the ball's going to the same kids over and over and over. There's 3 kids that get every single possession, that take every single shot, that get every single kick, and my kids are just running out there, and I'm not paying just to watch my kid run around for an hour, right? So that's what we need to make sure that you value as a coach, you pay attention to as a coach. So we'll provide you resources and help, and hopefully you'll have 2 coaches on each team. That way one can be helping with the player rotations and knowing who comes in and goes out, try to monitor that playing time. But as a coach, try to have that a part of your goals each week, a part of the mindset of your team and the things that your team and values. So what we talked about as coaches is, and what we talk about to our parents and coaches is, if you value the effort that they display and the attitude that they show, there can be success every single week because they have complete control over that. But if you only value the outcome of the game and their personal performance, then there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. There's going to be days where you win, and there's going to be days where no baskets get made and everything's just bouncing out, not going your way. and then the kids are going to be sad that day, and the kids are going to be heartbroken that day. And that's when you come to us and say, man, this guy blew these games, and look at my kids are all crying. Yes, because that's what you valued. But if you value opportunity, fun, playing time, sportsmanship, then they have control over those things. And the wins and the performance will come with that. So again, I just wanted to make sure that we went over our 4 priorities and how that is implemented, and what that looks like for you as a coach, and how you implement those 4 priorities onto the field and onto the court on a week-by-week basis. So again, thank you guys so much for being a part of our team. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about the importance of these things. I am so passionate about this, and I'm so grateful that you are as well, and you're willing to volunteer this season and have an impact on the lives of the kids on your team. So again, thank you so much for being a part of our programs. If you have any questions on anything, if you ever need anything from us, please reach out to us, and we want to support you as much as possible and make this as fun of experience for you also, so you continue to want to coach and develop and work with our kids. So thank you for being a coach. Thank you for being a part of our family, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the field and courts very soon.